Hi, this is Mike. I'm reading Robert Alter's translation of Genesis, chapter 47. And Joseph came and told Pharaoh and said, My father and my brothers and their flocks and their cattle and all that is theirs have come from the land of Canaan, and here they are in the land of Goshen. And from the pick of his brothers he took 5 men and presented them to Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said to his brothers, What is it you do? And they said to Pharaoh, Your servants are shepherds, we and our fathers as well. And they said to Pharaoh, We have come to sojourn in the land, for there is no pasture for your servants' flocks, because the famine is grave in the land of Canaan. And so let your servants, pray, dwell in the land of Goshen. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, saying, Let them dwell in the land of Goshen. And if you know there are able men among them, make them masters of the livestock, over what is mine. And Jacob and his sons had come to Egypt to Joseph, and Pharaoh king of Egypt had heard. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, saying, Your father and your brothers have come to you. The land of Egypt is before you. In the best of the land settle your father and your brothers. Let them dwell in the land of Goshen. And Joseph brought Jacob his father and stood him before Pharaoh. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said to Jacob, How many are the days of the years of your life? And Jacob said to Pharaoh, The days of the years of my sojournings are 130 years. Few and evil have been the days of the years of my life, and they have not attained the days of the years of my fathers in their days of sojourning. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh, and went out from Pharaoh's presence. And Joseph settled his father and his brothers, and gave them a holding in the land of Egypt, in the best of the land, in the land of the Ramesses, as Pharaoh had commanded. And Joseph sustained his father and his brothers and all his father's household with bread, down to the mouths of the little ones. And there was no bread in all the earth, for the famine was very grave. And the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan languished because of the famine. And Joseph collected all the silver to be found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan in return for the provisions they were buying. And Joseph brought the silver to the house of Pharaoh. And the silver of the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan ran out. And all Egypt came to Joseph, saying, Let us have bread, for why should we die before your eyes? For the silver is gone. And Joseph said, Let me have your livestock, that I may give you in return for your livestock if the silver is gone. And they brought their livestock to Joseph, and he gave them bread in return for the horses and the stocks of sheep and the stocks of cattle and the donkeys. And he carried them forward with bread in return for all their livestock that year. And that year ran out, and they came to him the next year and said to him, We shall not conceal from my lord that the silver has run out, and the animal stocks are my lord's. Nothing is left for our lord but our carcasses and our farmland. Why should we die before your eyes? Both we and our farmland take possession of us and our farmland in return for bread, and we with our farmland will be slaves to Pharaoh. And give us seed, that we may live and not die, and that the farmland not turn to desert. And Jacob took possession of all the farmland of Egypt for Pharaoh, for each Egyptian sold his field, as the famine was harsh upon them, and the land became Pharaoh's. And the people he moved town by town from one end of the border of Egypt to the other. Only the farmland of the priests he did not take in possession, for the priests had a fixed allotment from Pharaoh, and they ate from their allotment that Pharaoh had given them. Therefore they did not sell their farmland. And Joseph said to the people, Look, I have taken possession of you this day, with your farmland, for Pharaoh. Here is seed for you, and sow the land. And when the harvests come, you shall give 1/5 to Pharaoh, and 4 parts shall be yours for seeding the field and for your food, for those in your households and for your little ones to eat. And they said, You have kept us alive. May we find favor in the eyes of our Lord, in being Pharaoh's slaves. And Joseph made it a fixed law to this very day over the farmland of Egypt that Pharaoh should have a fifth. Only the farmland of the priests, it alone, did not become Pharaoh's. And Israel dwelled in the land of Egypt, in the land of Goshen, and they took holdings in it, and were fruitful and multiplied greatly. And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 70 years, and Jacob's days, the days of the years of his life, were 147 years. And Israel's time to die drew near, and he called for his son, for Joseph, and he said to him, If, pray, I have found favor in your eyes, put your hand, pray, under my thigh, and act toward me with steadfast kindness. Pray, do not bury me in Egypt. When I lie down with my fathers, carry me from Egypt, and bury me in their burial place. And he said, I will do as you have spoken. And he said, Swear to me. And he swore to him. And Israel bowed at the head of the bed.